Measure twice, cut once. This phrase is often used in carpentry, but can be applied to a lot of things, including websites, believe it or not. Did you know it takes roughly a few weeks to several months to build a website? No matter how easy it looks, it's going to take you a while. According to Wix, it can take 1 to 6 months to build a website, depending on the complexity and your goals. It would be not only unwise, but downright frustrating to build a website only to realize that you'd be better off on a different website builder. As Henry Wadsworth Longfellow said, it takes less time to do a thing right than it does to explain why you did it wrong. See, not once, not twice, but thrice. Thrice, clients have come to me saying something along these lines. We want your help building our website, but we can't wait. But you can't start until next week? Well, we're just gonna get started and then you can help us next week, right? All 3 times, these clients were way too excited to wait, and we ended up scrapping all the work they did because they used the wrong website builders. In the end, those website builders might have been easier for them to start with, but they weren't going to get them the results that they really wanted. Now, I don't want something similar to happen to you. Once you've built a website on one platform, you can't just move it to another. Even though you might be chomping at the bit to get started, it really is worth it to slow down, take a breath, and do a little bit of planning beforehand. In case you don't know me, I'm Nikki, your website buddy. I work with small business owners, creatives, and organizations to build strategic websites that work for you, so you don't have to keep working harder. I not only do one-on-one builds, edits, and consulting, but I also lead workshops, give talks, and I'm also the proud creator of Vision to Launch, a course for folks who want to take the reins on their website and build one that sells, even when they're away. I'm in your corner with expert support, real empathy, and a commitment to helping you show up with confidence and clarity online. So if that's what you're looking for, I invite you to follow along. Now, I've been building clients for websites since 2020. You're about to hear my review of the top website builders out there based on my experience using them with clients and for personal projects. But none of this is sponsored. I'm not getting paid by any of these website builders. This is all my experience and my honest reviews and opinions. No sponsors, no money in my pocket. In this video, you're not only going to learn about each website builder, but you're going to learn about which might be the best website builder for you and your business. We're also going to talk about e-commerce builders for those e-commerce owners out there. Do not eeny, meeny, miny, moe this choice. If you pick a website builder and you decide that it's actually not the one that's going to be best for you, you are going to have to start completely over from square one. I want you to pick the right choice from the beginning. Hey, if you don't have time to watch this video, I get it. I built you a quiz to help you figure out exactly which website builder might be best for you. So that's going to be linked down in the description, and it might be up here too, but feel free to take that quiz if you want to get your results right away. Before we dive into the reviews, I have a story for you. It was 2022. I was renting a room from friends in LA. It was about 20 minutes from where I grew up. And if there's one thing you know about LA, besides it being sunny all the time, it's probably that everyone drives a car. And it's pretty difficult to get around without one. At that time, things were recovering from COVID and from lockdown, but some things were still a bit out of whack. One of which was the car industry. Remember the chip shortage? Used cars were expensive. And because of that, I thought it was a perfect time to sell mine. So a few months prior, I did. Why, you may ask? Well, that past year I had been working in New England as a park ranger, and one thing I learned was that used cars with no salt damage go for a lot more in New England than they do in other parts of the country. So I thought, I have this car that spent 15 years in SoCal winters with no snow damage, with no snow, no salt damage. I might as well sell it here and fly back home. So that's what I did, and I underestimated how difficult it would be to buy a used car when I got back. Now, one thing about me, I am really, really bad at making purchases. I am one of those people who will spend days researching a new laptop to pick the best one. I'll spend weeks researching software to use in my business. And with such a big purchase, it took me literally months to buy a new car. 5 months to be exact. There I was, carless for 5 months in Southern California. It was painful. My mental health was not good. I was incredibly depressed, and I felt super stuck in this land of cars and stroads. There was a Starbucks about 2 blocks away, but even getting there felt a little dangerous. So there I was in my 30s asking for rides from my parents and from friends, which is not ideal, and I was taking the bus when I could. Finally, after 5 months of searching through Facebook Marketplace and calling dealerships, I decided that I wasn't going to get the car of my dreams, but I needed something. Looking back, I sacrificed my mental health and my well-being because I couldn't just make a choice. It should not have taken that long, nor should I have spent the days that I did researching to try to find a good car and then try to find it for a good deal because there were no good deals. I do not want you to feel stuck in analysis paralysis like I was. And I also don't want you to just go pick one willy-nilly because your friend uses it or a colleague uses it. So here's my unsponsored, unpaid breakdown of which is the best website builder for your specific small business or your specific e-commerce store. Now, before you dive into this, if you are a new business, you may not even need a website yet. That's right, I said it. You may be in the early stages. You don't need a website. It is not one of the first things you need. So if you think this might be you, check out our free new business website roadmap. We're gonna break down exactly when you need certain things regarding a website and what might be better for you to start with at the beginning. Websites take a lot of time and effort, and the last thing I want you to do is spend a ton of time and effort when you are just going to dump everything later and start over. All right, cool, let's dive in. First one is Wix. This one is best for small businesses who are just starting out, people who just want to get a website up and running already, and people who plan on using a template and they don't really want to change much about that template. They're pretty happy with how it looks. Now you might change fonts and colors and stuff, but any other tweaking, you don't need to do any of that. Wix is good for people who want a good design on their website, something aesthetically pleasing, and they don't plan on needing much customization in their website. Now, who should stay away from Wix are businesses who want lots of customization and functionality in their website, businesses who don't want to have to start from scratch if they want to change up the design, businesses who want the ability to have custom code on their website, whether that be CSS or HTML or JavaScript, and really businesses who plan on scaling and using their website for something bigger down the line. Can you sell products? Yes, you can. You can sell a small number of products, nothing like a crazy big product store. To sell products though, you will need to upgrade past the most basic tier in order to get that e-commerce functionality. You can sell physical products, you can do drop shipping, you can do print on demand, you can sell digital products, and you can sell subscriptions. Can you have a blog? Yes, you can. All right, and here's my take. Flat out, Wix is my second least favorite website builder on this list. I personally think their drag and drop editor is quite clunky, and it can be really frustrating. That could also be coming from someone who is used to using website builders that allow for a lot more customization. That being said, it could be great for you if you want something pretty simple, but also that looks really pretty. This could also be great if this is your first website and you don't need all the bells and whistles. Maybe you know you want to upgrade in the future, but for now, this is gonna work. Some context for my opinion, I've had a few Wix clients before. One had a laundry list of things that she wanted to do, and at the end of the day, I was able to accomplish about 30% of her list just because Wix wouldn't let me do the rest of it. The client had to settle on the fact that she just wasn't going to be able to have this stuff on her website this time around. She'd have to wait until the next version of her website, which would then have to be using a different website builder. All right, the next one is Squarespace. Who it's best for is designers, artists, photographers, creatives, business owners who want beautifully designed websites with an easy to use drag and drop functionality. People who are okay with doing most of what they want to do with their website, but might have to compromise on a few things. And people who are okay with having limited control over the design and the customization of their website. The people who should stay away from Squarespace are the people who want the most customization possible. Small businesses who want the ability to have a lot of custom code or custom coded components on their website, and businesses who really plan on scaling and growing to be bigger. Can you sell products? Yes. At all pricing tiers for Squarespace, you can sell products and services. As of recording, which is spring 2025. Can you have a blog? Yes, you can. Now, what's my take on this? Squarespace is a slight step up from Wix, in my experience. It can be great and beautiful, but there are definitely limitations to what you can do and what you can build. I was able to implement some custom JavaScript code for a client once, which I was honestly impressed by. However, I could only edit things with code. I couldn't build anything new that Squarespace didn't already offer. Now, some context for this story, I had a client who was a designer. She had very specific ways that she wanted her website to look, and the components of her website to look. Now, she wanted a video carousel on her website to show off some testimonials. The carousel was to use her branding and her design, not the pre-built design that comes with the video carousels on Squarespace. Because of Squarespace's limited functionality, the only reason I was able to accomplish this was because she had an upgraded version of Squarespace and she had more permissions as the administrator of the website. I could not put a video carousel on her website. She had to do it, and then I could come in and edit it. So if she didn't have that upgraded plan of Squarespace, I would have had to ask her to upgrade her website so that she could put the video carousel on, and then I could edit it. There was no other way to get this done. So while Squarespace is a decent drag and drop website editor, especially for those of you who are creatives, and especially if you don't need tons of customization on your website, just know that you may not be able to have as much control as you might want on your website. All right, WordPress, and we're talking WordPress.org, not WordPress.com. Who it's best for: business owners who are willing to take a little bit of time to learn things, get past that learning curve, and as a result, get a bigger payoff. People who want the maximum amount of customization on their website, including building things from scratch or having a developer build things from scratch. People who want to use a drag and drop builder, but also want something that's going to last them the long haul. And business owners who might want to hire a professional in the future, either for small fixes or to make a brand new website. Now, who should stay away from WordPress? Business owners who don't want a learning curve at all. They want something super easy and straightforward. Business owners who just aren't willing to put in the effort to learn a little bit. They just want it to be super easy from the get-go. They don't want something else that they're going to have to learn. And business owners who don't want to have to purchase their website hosting separately. See, things like Wix, Squarespace, Shopify, they all come with hosting built in. For WordPress, you have to purchase it separately. That being said, WordPress itself is free. You just have to pay for the hosting. So it could be a little more economical than Squarespace or Wix or anything like that. Can you sell products? Yes. WordPress has something called WooCommerce, and it is an e-commerce builder out there. So if you want to add an e-commerce store to your WordPress website, you can do that with WooCommerce. I would say WooCommerce is definitely a competitor to Shopify, which is one of the other big e-commerce platforms out there. There are also plugins or apps that you can purchase or use sometimes for free. One, for example, is called Easy Digital Downloads, and there you can upload your digital products and sell them from your website. Can you have a blog? Yes. In fact, most people, when they think of WordPress, they think of blogging, or at least they did 5 to 10 years ago. So what's my take on all this? I personally move everyone to WordPress if I can. If they are willing to go there, I put them there. Yes, there's a bit of a learning curve, but that's why all of my clients that are on WordPress or that I get to move to WordPress, I create them a personalized tutorial on exactly how to maneuver through their backend and how to use their website. I also give them a place where they can test things out so that they can try things and not mess up their live website. While WordPress takes a bit more setup at the beginning and it can seem a little bit scary, it's incredibly robust. Also, developers can do almost anything with WordPress. So if you can dream it, it can probably be done. However, I don't recommend WordPress to business owners who don't want to put in a lot of energy into their websites, or to those who just want something really quick and easy. Some extra tidbits about this: WordPress, Shopify, Squarespace, and Wix all have over 1 million websites on the internet, each, not together, each. Many of these are in the top 100K in traffic, meaning that some of the most visited websites on the internet throughout the world are built using these website builders. As of 2023, 38.5 million websites on the internet were made using WordPress, and that's the highest number of any website builder. 27,000 of those were in the list of the top 100,000 websites with the most traffic to them. So that's roughly 27% of the highest trafficked websites on the internet are built using WordPress. So not only are these builders popular, but they are doing something right. Like I said, so many of the most visited websites in the world are built using these website builders. All right, next we have GoDaddy. A lot of people know GoDaddy as a place where you can purchase domain names, but they also have their own website builder. So this website builder is probably best for someone who wants everything done in one place. Your domain name, your hosting, your website builder, all in one place. Or business owners who want a nice looking website without a lot of customization abilities. Or I'd say business owners who want a small, basic website that's mostly informational. Who should stay away from this website builder? I would say anyone who wants any amount of customization done on their website, people who want the ability to choose from a lot of different design options, and honestly, business owners who want quick and decent customer support. I would stay away from this website builder. I'll give you a story in a second. Can you sell products? Yes. Can you have a blog? Yes. All right, here's my take. Whew, GoDaddy. I personally don't recommend this platform to anyone actually, and I really try to get people off of it and using something else. The reason is you can only really use what they have. You can't make anything custom. As someone who's been designing and building websites for years, I have a system for how I design and how I develop websites for my clients. When I used the GoDaddy website builder for a client that didn't want to leave that platform, I consistently had to change things because I realized, oh, GoDaddy won't allow me to have this much text. GoDaddy won't allow me to have an image in this spot. I'd have an idea about how I wanted to build a section, only to find out that it wasn't possible with any of their pre-built sections. Then I'd say, think of another idea, but the section that looked like the way I want it to look only allowed for like 80 characters, whereas text was 120 characters. So then I'd have to change the website copy and so on and so forth. GoDaddy probably works if you want something super simple. It also works if you don't need anything custom done on your website or if you want to do it all yourself. But I personally don't like the experience of building on that platform at all. And I really don't think their websites look nearly as good as websites built on Wix, Squarespace, WordPress, or Shopify. In the end, I cannot in good conscience recommend GoDaddy's website builder to anyone out there really. Even if you purchased your domain through GoDaddy, I highly recommend moving to a different website builder, which is super easy to do. You can totally do that. All right, here's a quick story. I had a client who was using GoDaddy's website builder and he wanted to stay with them. I restructured his website, I wrote some new website copy, and I got new images for him. When it came time to actually build the website, I really struggled to make it actually look good because of the lack of my ability to customize things through that website builder. Right as I went to launch his website, I wanted to reassign a new page that I had built as his new homepage. For context, this is super easy to do on other website builders. It's the click of a button to figure out which is going to be your homepage. Here on this one, for the life of me, I could not figure out how to do it. I finally got on a chat with a customer service representative, and it took, I kid you not, 45 minutes. It took 45 minutes for this rep to reassign this new page that I had built as the new homepage, which should have taken me 30 seconds, took 45 minutes. So keep things like that in mind if you insist on using the GoDaddy website builder. But personally, I'd just use something else, which, like I said, you can totally do even if you purchased your domain through GoDaddy. All right, next we have Shopify. Who is this platform best for? Shopify is best for business owners who sell physical products, especially if you're selling more than just a few physical products. It's for business owners who want to have a robust storefront for their online store, and for e-commerce owners or sellers who are ready to get off things like Etsy or eBay and sell their own product. Who should stay away from Shopify? Sellers who aren't ready to do their own marketing, business owners who don't have their inventory or their shipping figured out yet, and business owners who sell digital products or services but they don't sell physical products. They should stay away. Can you sell products? Yes, absolutely. This is one of the best e-commerce platforms out there. Can you have a blog? Yes, but Shopify does not prioritize the blog, and as a result, they are not very easy to use and they don't look very pretty. If you are dead set on selling physical products and having a blog, I would actually recommend going to WordPress and using WooCommerce. So what's my take on Shopify? Well, Shopify was actually the first website builder I ever worked with as a team where I wasn't just tinkering around on my own. For context, I'm a self-taught developer and I was coding for about 4 or 5 years before I actually got paid or worked with a team. So my first paycheck from website work was actually working on a Shopify website. And while I hated it at first, I have come to learn it and Now I love it. That's not cause for bias though. Like I said, when I first started, I hated it. I've built on plenty of Shopify stores. I've seen the platform improve over time. And as time goes on, it allows for store owners to have even more robust, customized websites, even if they have hundreds of unique items for sale. You can also use Shopify just as an inventory platform and connect it to other website builders as you like, though that's a little more complicated. That being said, Shopify has a lot of great themes and templates to choose from, both free and paid. If you're only selling a few items or having a beautiful blog is really important to you, I might go with another website builder. To tell you how robust Shopify is, in a recent project for a client, the following is what I was able to do with custom code, meta fields, and some customization. So we had roughly 600 products and we had about 100 producers of all of those products. Each product was unique and we wanted to showcase the producer on each of those individual product pages. Since there were over 600 products and 100 different producers, we did this using custom code and spreadsheets instead of entering them manually for each individual product. I was also able to dynamically display a summary of each of those producers on the correct product pages. And when the client wanted to update that summary, they only had to do it in one place and it updated for all those hundreds of pages. It amazes me for how robust Shopify is for things like that. All right, awesome. I hope you have a better idea for which website builder is going to be best for you and your business. But in summary, I have a TLDR. Cliff notes. All right, Wix, who's it best for? People who want to use templates to build quick, aesthetically pleasing websites. You don't want extra customization and you won't want to change the look and feel of your website in the near future. Stay away if you've got a lot of products to sell, you want something unique and custom, or you're going to want to change things up in the future. Squarespace is best for designers, creatives, artists, photographers, people who want a very aesthetically pleasing website with some customization. Stay away if you want super custom components or if you plan on having a super robust website. Stay away as well if you want to have a big say over the design of the website. WordPress.org is best for people who are willing to spend a little bit of time learning up front so that they can be set up in the long haul. It's best for people with blogs and people with e-commerce stores. It's best for people who want customization on their website and the ability to do just about anything they want to on their website. Stay away if you want something super easy or if you want everything wrapped up in a nice neat package with a bow on top. Stay away if you don't want to have to check in periodically just to make sure that everything's up to date and everything's running properly. And stay away if you do not want a learning curve. GoDaddy is best for people who want all the design decisions made for them, who want something super basic and kind of bland, who want a website that isn't very robust and doesn't have all the bells and whistles, and people who are okay with poor customer service. Stay away if you want to have more freedom with your website, more freedom on the amount of text you use, on the way your images look, on where you can place those images, on how your design looks. Honestly, I'm gonna recommend that everyone stay away from this website builder. Sorry, GoDaddy. All right, Shopify is going to be best for e-commerce owners who have more than just a few products for sale. And I would stay away if you want to incorporate blogging into your online store or if e-commerce isn't the main focus of your business. So there you have it. Like I said, I am not sponsored by any of these website platforms. This is just my honest opinion of all of these after using them with multiple clients. Hopefully this gives you an idea of which website builder might be best for you and your small business. If you still aren't sure, again, take that quiz, it's below, and it might help you narrow things down. I hope this video or our quiz helped you make a choice. If you've made your choice and now you're looking to build your website the right way, I've got a video for you, and if you want to dive even deeper, you might be perfect for our flagship course. In our course, Vision to Launch, we go through every step that we go through with our clients, from the planning and the foundations to the design to the actual install and build of your website, and then finally the launch and refining afterwards. So not only are you set up for success from the beginning, but we also teach you how to refine and maintain your website after you've gotten a little bit of data about how people are using it. Like I said before, if you're just starting out and you are not ready for that course, or you're not even ready to start building a website, I would go ahead and grab our new business website roadmap. All right, once you've figured out exactly which website builder you should use for your website, you might want to think about what goes into actually building a website for your business. Like I said before, there's a lot of steps and I've got a video for you here. So check that out before you start building. I know it's exciting, but take a second, check that out. All right, super excited for you. Congrats on taking this into your own hands, and I'll see you in the next video.